What up? Welcome to another episode of Kelly's Casting Couch, where I'm going to be taking Wellington drag and casting them in popular movies, because Shrek 2 seemed to go really well last time, so let's try another hit classic, and we are going with Toy Story, the first one, because there's so many other characters in all those other ones, so I think we'll just do the crucial ones this time, and if Toy Story 1 goes well, we'll check out the other ones, but right now, casting Wellington drag and Toy Story 1, so let's get into it. Once again, these are my opinions. If you don't like it, that's fine. I don't care. But like, slay. It's always good to have a voice. Alright, first up we are starting with Woody, of course. Classic Woody the cowboy. Saving the day-ish. Kinda got a bit of an issue when it comes to like giving up being the main character. I said all that now and I'm thinking about who I'm casting, and it's not because of that, it's just because they literally work at Dakota, which is the cowboy bar here in Wellington. Or they used to teach line dancing there. I'm gonna go with Bread and Butter, because I think Bread and Butter gives very much like yeehaw energy, and no one else in Wellington would dare to try and give cowboy energy like that. So Woody, Bread and Butter. Alright, next up we have Buzz Lightyear, our space heartthrob hero. I don't know if anyone necessarily gives me Buzz Lightyear in Wellington drag, but someone does give me heartthrob hero, so I'm gonna go with Buzz Lightyear as Robin You're Blind. Because I feel like Robin would, he'd give it. He'd serve the energy that we'd need for Buzz Lightyear. Alright, next up on my list I have Bo Peep. Now this one's tricky because I could go with like, a classic blonde drag performer here in Wellington, but then I went to the Ashleys, and I don't think any of the Ashleys give me Bo Peep. But like someone who like gives like, big mainstream diva energy, I'd say would be Yoni. I think Yoni could definitely give the... Because she's not a damsel in distress. Is she? I can't remember. But like, Yoni and like the sheep. The sheep are just like her array of tits. Oh no, I'm talking on my ass here. But there we go, whatever. Bo Peep, Yoni count. Next up on my list, I've got Mr. Potato Head. I was trying to think of someone who has a really decent mustache. And there was two people that came to mind. Candida, who's new to Wellington, and also Ava Goodcock. I don't want to be rude to Candida and cast them as Mr. Potato Head, but I think Ava would make a slay Mr. Potato Head. So, Ava Goodcock, Mr. Potato Head. Thanks, Ava. Alright, next up we've got Slinky. Slinky's real wholesome. He's real loyal. He just wants everyone to get along. He's just looking out for everyone. He's just a little bit sad. So I think the perfect person to play Slinky would be Homer Neurotic, because no one really brings that wholesome kind of energy like Homer does. Alright, next up I have Rex. I had to think hard about this one because obviously Rex the dinosaur, really goofy, really silly, also really lovable, and also very tall. I couldn't think of any drag kings in Wellington that are tall. They're all just kind of like normal height. So this completely left field. You're gonna be like, why? And I'm gonna be like, because I said so. I'm gonna go with Rex, Hysteria. Because Hysteria is actually quite chaotic. And Hysteria is really lovable. And when you're talking to them, they're super goofy and they just give me the adorable Rex energy that I think Hysteria could be the only one that could pull this off. So, yeah, Hysteria as Rex. Okay, next up on my list, I've got Ham, the piggy bank. From what I remember from Toy Story, Ham seems to be kind of like, not the boss, but like the one who definitely like tries to usher things along. And is also the one who's sick of everyone. So I'm gonna go with Willie Smackintosh for Ham. Because Willie's sin all of Wellington drag shit. And I'm sure he's just as over it as anyone is. So I think, yeah, Willie Spankatosh as Ham. Alright, next up I've got Sarge and the Toy Soldiers, or as says on Wikipedia, Bucket O Soldiers. Because they're like fucking onto it. They get the job done. When Woody has the mission for them, they're like all hands on deck, no man left behind. So they're gonna look out for each other no matter what. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Maria Richmond, Foxy Cleopatra, and King Chloe Tamakehu, because they are definitely like a group where none of them are gonna get left behind. Like, they're all there for each other. They're gonna stick with each other till the very end. And also, like, if you give them a mission, they will see it through. Like, if you need someone cancelled, like, they'll spend all day rifling through the receipts to make sure that happens. And I don't think there's anyone in Wellington who has the same dedication to a mission than them three. So, yeah. I don't know which one of them would be Sarge. I feel like they're just all equally Sarge and equally the soldiers. So, glam. There you go. Alright, next up I have the aliens. This was easy. The aliens is the Bombay Bombshell, because they're all the same and they're all equally as annoying. So when you just put 100 Bombay Bombshells in a room, I figure you're just gonna hear the incoherent there that comes out of the aliens. So, aliens, Bombay Bombshell, don't question it. If you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. Alright, next up I've got Babyface. This is one of the mutated toys from Sid's place. It's got like the doll head and it's got the crab legs and stuff. I think the only person in Wellington drag that could pull off Babyface and gives me big Babyface energy is Stabitha. Because Stabitha's looks are always like, what's going on? There's a bit of everything happening here. And Babyface is very much that as well. It's just this configuration of what the hell's going on. And they're both scary as fuck. So, Babyface, Stabitha. Alright, next up we have Sid, the absolute nightmare of the neighbor. The bully, the one who gave me nightmares growing up. Like, honestly, just, not the one. But I think the person in Wellington drag who could probably pull off Sid based on their looks would be Amy Thirst. Because I don't feel like anyone else gives off, like, terrifying vibes when it comes to, like, a human than Amy. Like, Stabby was giving off, like, monster kind of vibes. Amy's giving off, like, scary bogan kind of vibes. And I think if Amy Thirst was a child, that's who would be next door to me. Ripping off kids' toys and putting them together and mashing up little monsters. No offense to Amy Thirst, she's absolutely lovely. But I think for the sake of this, Amy is Sid. Alright, next up we have Hannah, Sid's not daughter, of Sid's sister, little sister. I think, because yeah, she's there with like a little toys, a little like doll party, and it's real wholesome, real cute, and she just wants to have a good time with all of her toys and friends. So I'm gonna go with, for Hannah, Blink Bogan. Because Blink Bogan likes dolls. She's absolutely slay. She's glam, and she's also very young. So she is like the baby of Wellington drag at the moment. So yeah, I think Hannah, Blink Bogan. And last but not least, I have Andy. Obviously, the main character. You all know Andy. If you don't know Andy, get the fuck out. This was kind of hard because I'm not sure, because I feel like I've used quite a few of the kings already that would give me the main character energy that Andy is. I don't consider myself to be Andy. Oh, am I Andy? Like, with all the toys? I mean, you can see on my shelf and everything. Nah, I don't think I'm Andy. Maybe Andy will go Neon Lux. Because Neon definitely brings the main character energy that's required. And maybe Neon had a lot of toys growing up as well. I don't know. Who cares at this point? Look, Andy, Neon Lux, slay. I think that'll do. Cast it, lock it in, send it, print it, film it, show it, bam. Alright y'all, this is it. Toy Story If It Was Done by Wellington Drag. We have Bread and Butter as Woody, Robin Your Blind as Buzz Lightyear, Yannick Kant as Bo Peep, Ava Cook as Mr. Potato Head, Home and Erotic as Slinky, Hysteria as Rex, Willie Spagatush as Ham, Maria, Foxy and Chloe as Sarge and the Toy Soldiers, Bombay Bombshell as the Aliens, Stabitha as Babyface, Amy Thirst as Sid, Blink Bogan as Hannah, and Neon Lux as Andy. Slay. I think that's a great movie. So obviously in like the later movies there's so many more iconic characters, but like I didn't want this video to be 2 hours long. So yeah, this is Toy Story 1 and I think I've done a pretty decent job. Let me know in the comments if you think I've nailed it or if you think you'd cast someone else in Wellington Drag as one of these roles. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you all later.